What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Adobe Photoshop Masterclass course. Continuing on the bonus section, we just wrapped up the lower third, and we're jumping straight into the next live project. The next one I want to do with you guys is going to be thumbnail. Thumbnail is huge. I'm a YouTuber. YouTube is, something that I'm heavily involved in, and, thumbnails are something that is not only super relevant to YouTubers, but also relevant to pretty much all across the board on social media nowadays. Video content is the greatest way to tell a story, the greatest way for a brand to get a message across or an individual, and thumbnails are the way you package that message, right? That's the first image people see. The thumbnail really matters to bring people in. So let's actually go up here to File, go to New, and go 1920 by 1080. And you guys can actually go and download this image of me, and that's the only image we're going to be using. No textures, no nothing. All of that stuff we'll do inside of, Photoshop itself. But let's drag and drop the actual image of me in. And just like that, it's an image of me wearing a yellow hoodie. You guys can't see me right now, but I'm actually wearing the exact same hoodie. This is a image of me up in London at my place up in London, right? And basically, what we're going to be able to do is take this and make it a more legitimate image. So first off, let's actually go ahead and grade me down a little bit. So I just want to go ahead and make a brightness adjustment layer, but I don't want to mess with the brightness too much. I actually want to bring up the contrast a little bit. In fact, if anything, I want to bring down the brightness a little bit because I can see it's a little bit overexposed, actually. So I'm actually going to bring it down to maybe like -10, something like that. And by the way, we can turn off and on the adjustment layer to really see whether that's done anything good for us. And it looks like it has. It's added a little bit more shading. And overall, it's looking a little bit more legitimate. Now, first off, what I want to go ahead and do is actually get rid of this orange. So the orange is just meant to be a nice green screen so that we could, in theory, select everything. However, if we do get the all selection tool and do that, the magic wand tool even, and select everything, and then, get the eraser tool, click, make it a layer, a rasterized layer rather, and then delete the screen, we've got this nasty sort of nonsense going on. So usually what I do, press Ctrl Z to undo that, is just get the pen tool for my screens when I want to take away the screen, and literally just draw a outline just a pixel outside of the actual specific thing that we're trying to cut out. So just like that, I've drawn just around the orange, and then I'm going to click in the middle, click Make Selection, and just fully delete all orange that was ever there. And just like that, we've taken out the orange. Looking pretty nice indeed. However, actually, if I press Ctrl Z and undo that, what I might actually just do is go to Filter and just play around with making the orange a little bit blurred, actually. So we've kind of got a blur going in. So I might even just do 100 Gaussian blur to that layer, and because we made a selection, it'll only apply that to that. So we basically zeroed it out, right? It's looking pretty cool. That's actually a better base to put some text over. So the way I'm looking at the laptop screen is that's going to be a cool spot to throw some titles, right? Big title here, smaller title below. Now, what I also want to do is actually go ahead and make myself and the laptop stand out from the background. Now, we can do that with a Gaussian layer as well, but there's an interesting technique that I want to do, which is taking out all the color from the background, which already there's not loads, but if we go here and actually add vibrance and turn this up a little bit, we can see that I'm looking a little bit nicer, and overall everything's looking a little bit more popish if I do have the vibrance nice and all the way up. So if I turn that off, it's like that. I turn it on with the vibrance, we can see that the vibrance adds something. So vibrance clearly adds something to the foreground, me and the laptop, but I don't want any green in the background or anything. So what I want to do is actually highlight the background. Now, first off, what I want to do is actually click the layer, drag it down here, and duplicate the layer. Boom. There you see it's been duplicated. Then we can go over here to the Quick Selection tool. Make sure you're on plus, and just start drawing around anything that's not our focus, right? Our sort of foreground, our actual subject, right? And we actually keep drawing. We keep drawing just like that, and we're actually able to highlight everything that's not me and that's not the laptop. And then we can literally just go ahead and press delete, and I'll press Ctrl Z to undo that. But notice this layer here, when we press delete, it deletes everything that it's not selecting. And then we can go select this layer, press vibrance, and actually take the saturation down to 0. So you see how that's at full, there's color in the background, then we take it to 0. So the natural instinct of the actual viewer or the person laying their eyes on this is to look at the thing with color. So it naturally brings your eyes to the thing with color, which is the foreground, the focus, the actual, focal point of our situation. Then we can go to the background, go up here to Filter, go to Blur, go to Gaussian Blur, and actually go ahead and completely blur that out on 100, or we have the option to maybe go for a 40. Personally, the 100 was looking like a nice blank background, so we can get the 100 and press OK. And just like that, instantly, we have taken out the background, and we are now just dealing with this foreground right here, which is looking pretty cool. However, we're not done yet. I want to make it pop even more. So I want to go to the above layer. If we turn this off and turn it back on, this is the one that we selected and deleted the background of. And we can actually go ahead down here to Effects, go to Drop Shadow, and let's let a light drop shadow be cast over. And in fact, what I might even do is for this, really make it light. So really bring it down to maybe 40%, something like that. So that when we zoom out, it's not really super obvious, but if we turn it off, it's super obvious. We notice that, you know, if it's not there, we really see the need for it, if you will. And then we can actually go up here to the text tool, go here, and actually go ahead and write title holder, or maybe placeholder, go up here to Gotham, go ahead and get the Gotham Black, which I'm such a fan of, Gotham Black regular, awesome. Or might even placeholder, go ahead right here, make the placeholder text, highlight it, go here, go ahead and make it white. I'm digging the white text. I think it'll stand out a little bit, and then we can actually load up our effect. So I'm going to click drop shadow as the first effect that loads up. And I'm actually going to turn that nice and up. Then I'm going to go over to the gradient overlay and actually go ahead and apply a normal gradient to this. But I noticed what we're doing here. We want to go ahead and make the text yellow. Perfect. So we've got this yellow text, and it's already started to get that gradient over it. Looking pretty nice. We could double click, bring some more stuff up, and actually just start ticking through. Now I am going to get a little bit of inner shadow. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. And I'm also going to have it on 120 angle, right? Bring that size up the tiniest bit, and then also bring the opacity down. Get that stroke. Definitely get a nice healthy stroke going. Probably black, but let's have a look with the white. The white's actually looking like a little bit more of a sort of jump out, but I'm actually just going to maybe try turn the shadow up on the placeholder text right there. And just like that, we built some relatively nice text. I like that. I'm not actually going to throw a bevel and emboss over there for the time being. I think this is looking pretty cool. What I actually want to do is organize it a little bit better. So the way we're going to do this is I'm actually maybe going to put this on two different lines, and I might even go ahead and centralize it. So we've got this placeholder situation right here, and we can even go down here and write title. Placeholder title. Placeholder title. Cool. So we've got this placeholder title, which is an example of text that we'd have. And maybe what we can go ahead and do is even have this coming off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this, drag and drop it down here to duplicate it, and I'm just going to turn off the bottom layer just so it keeps it sort of retained. Because I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and convert this to a smart object. So I'm actually going to go ahead and right click it and click convert to smart object, which enables us to press Control T and actually have a little bit more room to work with, where we can adjust how this is being positioned. Just like that, we're able to click, hold Control, and then we can grab these points and actually hold Control while you do it, but click and drag them and manipulate them to where you want to go. And just like that, and then we're able to drag this up, and we've got this placeholder title just like that. But we can actually even have it go over the screen a little bit, so it's really jumping out, as you see right there. That's looking like something that wants to jump out straight at you, and it wants to be clicked. So placeholder title is looking real nice right there. And now what we have the option to do is either just save it like this, which we can press Control S right there, go up to bonus section, go to thumbnail, and say this is thumbnail. Let's make sure that the caps aren't on. Save that right there. Or one sort of natural thing to do for me would be, I'm just going to drag this up a little bit, and go ahead and click the placeholder title. Go ahead and click Control and click on the yellow and Control T here, and literally just highlight them, or press Control T so you can adjust, and then literally just scale this up to actually fit the screen. But that is a total stylistic choice. You can decide whether you want it to be right on the screen or a little bit back, but overall we've killed it with that right there. Now at the same time, that title is not editable, so if you did want to change the text, you'd have to go turn this layer back on, edit it, then go ahead, right click, turn to a smart object, and actually position it. However, that right there is a really nice thumbnail tutorial that we've whipped up in about 10-15 minutes, and I would use that thumbnail happily on my 260,000 actually, oh there we go, subscriber YouTube channel. This would be easily an uploadable thumbnail. So that right there is the thumbnail project done and dusted. I'm not quite looking into the camera. You can see me. I'm looking off into space. But overall, that right there is our video done and dusted, the bonus section thumbnail creation episode. We're going to come back next with more hands-on live projects. I'll see you guys there.